Morning, I'm Michelle here from The Strand, and you reached my knitting podcast. And for the month of December for 2024, I am doing Sockmas. So, welcome to Sockmas. This will be the second episode. Please have a look at last Sunday's episode. It was a bit touch and go one, but I'm sure you will be able to figure it out. So, because of that, being touch and go last week, I thought I'll sit and chat with you early this morning before we do the Zoom. And then after the Zoom, I will put a little video clip of where we were yesterday for our in-person get-together and just show a little bit of festiveness. Okay, so back to Sockmas. So you saw that my sock blockers are still empty. Yes, they are still empty. So what am I doing? Let me tell you. You feel very far away. Can I sit closer? Is that okay with you? Okay, so let me show you. So for the first time, Naughty Habits is doing a 24 stripe advent calendar, and it came in these little bags. It's so cute. And you know what is the best is that it's got 3 openings. So you've got one yarn coming through here, the second one here, and your, where is it now? Your contrasting color for your heels, toes and cuffs through in the middle. So they're already winded up. You don't need to open it up. So every time that you pull and you see the new color for the first time, you know, I need to stop because that's tomorrow's color. And this is so, so cool. Just look at the pin and a little stitch marker here. Let me just put my hand that you can see that. Oh, come on, turn around. It doesn't want to turn around. There we go. Still. Yeah, come now. There we go. Okay, so what I'm doing when I knit my socks, so what I'm doing is I'm knitting a couple of socks this month, and I'm playing around with see whether I can find the heel that fits me, not only for my foot but also for my making. And I think I found it. I'll show you a little bit later. So this is how far the socks are, or how far I am with the stripy socks. I always start on with 12 stitches doing Turkish cast on, then I increase every second row for my heel until I get to the number of stitches I want. I just did a little slip stitch thingy there just to make it a little bit interesting. The sole side is no slip stitches, it's just the stripes. And when I measured it, I'll show you just now how I measure and how I do that. I had to be just starting today's color, then I did the heel, and let me see whether if I hold it like this, whether you can see a little bit better. Oh la la, there we go, like that. So that's the heel there. And so I'm finished with both heels, and I can just carry on knitting in the round. Both heels are done. There's the other one. Okay, so the needles that I'm using is the Chigo fixed cable red lace, I think is what they call it. I received this as a gift, and it's really, in my opinion, for what I've used, this is the best one because the cable is soft. You can squish it if you need to, but it doesn't keep that, so it doesn't have the memory of that bend, unless you're really going to bend it like a piece of paper, which you don't want to do to any cable. She also gave us a second stitch marker or progress keeper. I just keep it on the one to show this is the start of my row, because my row, oh my goodness, I'm really getting tangled up here. My row is starting this side and going all the way, so that makes it easy to do it together. Okay, so this is the stripy socks. It says it's got 24 stripes on it. I'm on, of course, today's the 8th, so I'm on color 8. I see that I can do 4 colors after this one, so I'll only use 12 stripes for a pair of socks. So guess what? I can have a second pair of socks from this lovely yarn. Yay! They're so cool, don't you think so? I'm so excited. Okay. So this wakes me up, or the excitement to knit a stripe wakes me up like 5 o'clock in the morning. That and Marlena's the Playful Knitter Vlogmas. That's my wake up with my coffee. Cool. Then in last week's Sockmas episode, on the Zoom, I said I date people. So the topic for last week was all about constructions. So when we think about constructions, we usually think about up and down, but there are also other ways in doing it. So, but it is a secret till the end of the month, so I can't show you the sock that I'm knitting for the day, but I can show you the yarn. So the yarn is from African Expression Soul. Now, and I'm going to show you the broken one now. Let me show it to you like that. Now they put the stick on a weird place. So let me try and do this one. Let me bend this one. There we go. There we go. And this is, I know the light isn't good enough for me to read this. It's got mohair in and mulberry silk in and polyamide and merino. I'm sorry, I cannot give you the percentages. I can't see that. Let's see if you can. No, doesn't want to focus. Anyway, so you need to go to the shop and see what's in there. It is smooth, it is nice, and the colors that I'm doing is this one. It's like a pink, gray, purple light, I would call it. And then I've got this color going with it. So this isn't a ball, because when I pulled from the inside on this color, it had a yarn baby, and I had to wind it up, and I just did it by hand. So I've got a few of these little balls, but I think the colors is beautiful together. Okay, and for that, the needle that I'm using for that is Al's, the bamboo one. This is the bag with the metal needle in, but I'm doing the bamboo needles, but in the same size. So it's a 2.5 millimeter. I'm sorry I can't show it to you. Oh man, I really want to show it to you. We'll have to wait. There's the third pair that I'm busy with. Sorry for the light. It's the wind blowing the curtain that makes my face the light different. The third pair of socks I'm knitting is with, while we're at the needles, I'm knitting it with these needles, and I saw a name on it. No, I can't see it. The packet looks like this. It's a 2 millimeter needle, so it is smaller than I've ever used to knit socks on. So it is a bit tight, but I thought because it's a lace pattern, it will be okay. So let's do the yarn first. I'm doing 2 together on the needle, so I've wound it up. I rolled up the yarn into 2 bits and just bring it closer to you that you can see. It's like beige, white, pink, and when I knit it up, I want to say there's a grey in it too. I don't know whether you can see that. This yarn is from Aldred, and it is 75% superwash and 25% nylon. It's not playing with. And the socks is looking, let me just untangle it a little bit. It's looking, and I'm also doing 2 at the time. It's really, I think, my new way of doing socks, and it looks like this. So I'm not far. My Turkish croissant, same than the stripy socks. I've got 30 stitches on the side, not 32 on the side if I remember correctly. And I'm looking this way because the pattern is on the side. So this is the Pacific Coast Toe Up sock. Pacific Coast Up, Coast Toe Up sock. And it's looking nice. Every now and then I do make a mistake to not do the yarn overs at the right places. But hey, it's a sock, who's going to look at that? So I just make sure that I've got the right number of stitches again, and then I carry on. I think it's nice. Hey? And you can see the material is quite dense. So I'm very curious how it will weigh. Okay, so how do I measure my socks? Oops, sorry. So I've got this sock ruler from Naughty Habits, and you can see the pen mark there. So I just stick the sock like this, and I knit until I get to the line, which is my socks for my foot size, and then I start to do the heel, and it works perfectly. Okay, so will you see something on the sock blockers next week? I think so, because I've got 4 stripes left on this one. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Maybe I'll finish it on Friday, so by Sunday you will see 1 pair sock finished. Yay! And can I show you the day? No, you'll have to wait. Okay, so please stay for the Zoom. Today's topic is all about lace and textured socks, and Juanita from Juaknits is going to speak to us about it. Okay, cool. So at this point, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for spending your time here with me. I know December is school holidays here in South Africa, and there's family gatherings and business events and stuff happening, so I really appreciate your time here with me. Please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on more content, and it helps me to grow my my channel, and it doesn't cost any money. Okay, cool. You wanted to know what's the topic for next week? No, you will have to wait and see. Okay, cool. Bye. Cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zoom 2024. And this is episode 2. It's the 8th of December today. Eh? Yeah, it must be. Okay, cool. So I've done a little video before the Zoom to show where my socks are. But for the people on the Zoom, this is how far I am.
Lovely.
My nails are done, but my color is broken into 2. Whoops, I can't show it. There we go. And it's okay. I think it still looks nice.
Nice, yeah.
To know more about it, watch the YouTube video. Okay, so I would like us to go around and then you just introduce yourself. If you've got a yarn title like a dyer or a YouTuber, just state where other people can find you, and then also show the socks that you're busy with. Not the dare ones, hey? Not the dare ones. Okay, cool. Who wants to be first?
I'm first on the list here, so maybe I should start.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I am a beginner sock knitter. I swore I would never knit socks because why? You can buy them, but I'm up for a challenge. So I started knitting some socks, my first pair of socks, and they're gonna have little bunnies on. 3 little bunnies.
Oh,
Front.
cute.
And yeah, I think I've made them too big, but I don't think big socks are a problem. I'll find somebody to wear them. So it's a bit of a challenge. I'm having to count. I'm having to too many. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not finding it easy, but I'm doing it.
Wow. I think it takes a lot of courage to do a color work for your very first sock that you're doing. Well done. Hey?
Thank you.
Dit wil gedoen wees.
Yes.
Yes. Who wants to be next?
If it's me, then I just must finish this one. This one. Sorry,
Okay.
it will be me.
Juanita, do you mind?
Mariano.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mary Botha.
Go for it.
Yeah. I just finished my Christmas stocking that was supposed to be finished at the end of November, the Anna and Carlos one. And
Glad I went first.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a bit off topic here towards the end because I lost interest. But still, I'm very, very chuffed with it. It's my third one I've knitted, 2 last year and the year before. And apart from that, I'm busy with the same sock that I was busy last week. I just progressed to almost the end. I'm on the leg part already.
It looks very nice. Didn't the yarn got very tangled up in the color work? Are you okay
In this
with
one?
Yeah. Only 2 colors
No,
at
it
a
was
time.
still only 2 colors. It was only 2 colors at a time. It just looks very impressive. I used a lot of colors because I didn't want to buy new ones, and I wanted it to go with the previous 2 that I already had. So I ran out of colors, and yeah. But no, it was only 2 at a time, so it wasn't a problem. And of course, nobody's going to wear it. So the inside, the float is not that important. I didn't really work anything away. Yeah, so it was actually fun.
It's nice. It really looks nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did mute the people, so if you want to speak, just unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Juanita from Juaknits. On Instagram and Facebook, also Juaknits. I've been knitting socks for about 4 years now, and I'm currently busy with the 24 bench stripe one. So I've got the two going at the same time with different needles. I'm really enjoying these colors. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be for me or my son, but I'm thinking about it.
It's nice. Thank you. And Juanita is also going to tell us some more about the topic of the day. Cool.
Hello,
Anyone wants to be
everyone.
next? Yes. Yaleen, go for it.
Thank you, Michelle. My name is Yaleen. I'm on Instagram as Made by Yaleen, the same on Facebook and YouTube. And I am also just knitting away on the Advent stripe.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be doing, I started with a cuff, so I'm knitting both at the same time on 9-inch. And my strategy is that after the 24 stripes, I'm going to do another cuff. And then I'm going to cut in and do afterthought heels and toes. And I'll probably be able to do 2 pairs of socks. That's my strategy.
It should fit in because
Great.
I calculated you need about 12 stripes for a sock. Because this is on 8 and I'm at the heel, so I only need 4 more for the leg. I don't need more than that because you can still add the cuff. And then there's half of it for another pair. So I was
Yes.
quite excited. Yes. But you're actually going to cut it.
Yes, I'm going to do afterthought method. So I'm going to pick up my stitches in those two rows and cut the yarn in between. And I'm going to do afterthought heel and toes, same method. Well,
If I had
it's going to work.
If I had a hat on, I would have taken it off for you because cutting knitwear, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Mariana also wants us to do some sticking project. I'm sorry, I'm not there yet.
He recommended the Wild Rose vest to me during the year, and it's so on my to-do list for next year.
So maybe we must do it together. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll grab
I've
it.
done the afterthought heels too. I think it's one of the, it is definitely, or it feels to me like the easiest way to knit a sock is to do an afterthought. Because in essence, you're doing a toe, but as a heel. So it is so easy.
It's just that cutting bit.
The cutting bit.
Is there anyone else that wants to show and tell? I'll wait a little. You are muted, so you need to unmute yourself. Not? Okay. Juanita, would you like to take us into the topic?
Yes, I can start.
Cool, thank
Hi,
you.
everybody again. Okay, so Michelle asked me to talk a little bit about lace and textured socks. My journey started in 2020 September, and I actually taught my first sock knitting class 2 weeks after I taught myself how to knit a pair of socks. And it was just a plain vanilla one. So I just got stuck on vanilla. And 2023, yeah, it was 2023. Yeah. I actually won. I don't know if anybody knows Helen Stewart from Curiously Handmade. She's in Australia. And she designs beautiful sock patterns. And they've got a society called the Handmade Society, Sock Society. And I actually won 6 patterns by commenting on an Instagram post. And I was like, wow. Now that just pushed me out my little bit of a comfort zone because I've never done lace or cables or anything like that on socks. A little bit of texture, but nothing serious. And yeah, so that's where I sort of got hooked on to do a little bit of lace work. I think lace work in socks for beginners is a very easy project because you don't have a lot to knit. You know, you don't have vast amount of stitches. You are confined to a small amount of stitches for a couple of centimeters. So I think it's a great way of testing yourself and see where your abilities are. But you know what, lace, I think we are very scared of it, but all it is at the end of the day, it's a knit and a pull and a yarn over. If you can do those 3 stitches, you can definitely do lace. Cables, I'm not so hot on the cables. I always make them either too long or too short and they look lopsided. So I need to practice on my cables a bit. But the lace knitting, I definitely enjoy. Now, with the lace knitting, you also can go and do textures on your socks. And by textures, I mean you literally swap your knits and your pulls around in a sequence or in a given pattern. If you think of a Gansey sweater, which is loads of different knits and pull motifs, that works very well on socks as well to create a nice little bit of interest to the fabric, especially if you've got like a solid color. To use a very heavy variegated yarn and either the lace or for textured knitting, and sometimes the pattern disappears. So I would suggest a solid color or a very lightly speckled variegated yarn, which works very well. With the textured socks as well, what works very well is if your yarn is highly twisted, because then you get really good stitch definition. I knitted, one of the socks that I knitted was the Dustland socks, that was from Stephen West, and I did that in unplied yarn. It was just a single ply. I think it was Skipper's stripe. And I wasn't really that happy with the end result. So I'm definitely going to knit that pattern again in a light grey and with a super twist or a highly twisted yarn, 4-ply yarn. I find those give the really nice stitch definitions. I can show you some of my designs or the patterns that I've knitted over the last couple of years, or basically since last year. I think it was August or September when the Sock Society started. So she had 6 patterns. I think I only knitted 4 of them. 5 of them one I gifted out, so I've only got a couple here. So the first one is the seed pod socks. Everyone should have a pair of red socks in their drawer. So this is just opal yarn, and I really love the little detail at the top. It is a twisted stitch. It's also the first time that I've done the twisted rib, and I really fell in love with that as well. So that is definitely nice, easy pattern to start with to get you into lace knitting. Just pull it apart, and if you can see so well.
Lovely.
And then the second one that I did was the mermaid shell socks. So I didn't put this one in a blocker because I actually want to show you how beautiful that shell pattern is.
Lovely.
And then it's got this line going right through to the toe, that little bit of detail. So this I'm pretty proud of these ones. Took me one evening just to sit and knit this bit here. A lot of pulling out, but I got it. I did it. I was very, very proud of myself for this one. Then the first one I actually did of the Sock Society was the shadow box. Also a lightly variegated yarn, because then you can actually see the little lace detail on it. It's a couple of yarn overs in between a pull section, and also with a twisted knit stitch. And that's really nice. I really like this one as well. Very good. I've just completed Hermione's everyday sock. My friend Yvette gifted me this specific yarn. It's called Bendigo from Australia. And it's got a nice little ombre effect going. The color is called Candy Floss. And it's also knits and pulls, and it creates such a nice texture. And if you can see
Lovely.
it so well.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very
Because you
interesting.
can't really see what's happening there. It's just like it's
Yeah,
not flat. It's
yeah,
like there.
yeah. I like you say, it's not flat. You just get that little bit of interest on it. And then we've got a very gifted sock designer also here in South Africa. Is Mariette from DB Die Boervrou. So this is she did a sock along in October, and this is her deep equally striped socks. And you can bring texture into your socks by using mohair. So she had a little bit of a texture pattern with knits and pulls, and then I added the straps. I like if you can see the little bit of fuzziness on these socks, and they are actually super, super soft. So I used African Expressions, Soul, Hope, Love. I can't remember which is the thin one. But anyway, I used some of the mohair help double. And that also really creates quite a fun stripy effect with the mohair, and then pair it with a little bit of texture in the pattern. And then my first introduction actually to a bit of texture was the vanilla latte socks. They don't have the pattern on Ravelry anymore. I don't know why they've taken it out. That's the one pattern that I started knitting on. And all that you do is, and I read the pattern wrong the first time I knitted it, you create, you take you carry on with your purl stitches. With your ribbing, so you do it you knit 4 and you pull 2, but I read the pattern wrong. It was supposed to be every other row you pull, not every row. Anyway, but it creates a nice interesting effect as well. Sort of breaks up the color a bit, a little bit of interest. And this is very nice also if you don't know, if you want to knit a gift for somebody, a ribbing pattern is a very good idea because it contracts a little bit, so it pulls in. So it's if you don't have exact measures, that is a really nice pattern to knit and give it to somebody as well. There is 3 other patterns that I don't have with me, but Michelle was so kind enough to get the pictures for us, and she'll put it on the screen.
Let me see whether I can share the screen. Sorry. Let me try again. Like that.
Yeah, so is that the Dustland sock?
So
the Dustland sock is the one that I was talking to you about earlier.
Okay, so I have them all.
No, it's fine. It's this 7th. Oh, I forgot about the Rylat.
Shall we interrupt the conversation and talk about the
we can start with that one. Yeah, so the Rylat or the Rye socks is also a great pattern to use. It's got a bit of a garter stitch section right over the top of the foot on the instep going down to the foot. And also, you know, instead of knitting a vanilla sock, this is a great way of bringing texture also into your knitting if you want to explore a bit. And then I think the next one is the paper wing socks, yeah. It's a delicate little moss motif at the top also that you create with knits and pulls. And it just gives that little bit of extra texture and it's just on the leg side of the sock, just right underneath the cuff. So it's actually quite nice. And then the next one is the Dustland socks here. You can see there's like these bands of different textures, knits and pulls in sequence that you can use, and it really creates such a beautiful sock. Best to do that one in a solid color, and I love the red ones that he's got on there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about my story.
Yeah, that's the vanilla one.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is
the vanilla
red
latte. Yeah,
one.
the blue socks, yeah.
And then the Hermione one.
The
I
Hermione
really
one,
like the
yeah.
texture on this one.
It's
Just
really
look at
nice,
that
yeah.
leg. It's not columns. It's not.
It's
I'll
like little
have to
offset
try this
columns.
one. Yeah. And the shadow box. And Little Mermaid. I love your mermaid one.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's really beautiful. And the seed pot. Wasn't there a sweater also called the seed pot?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know the Dustland range has got different. No, it's got a cowl and a beanie and a sweater. I'm not sure about the seed pod. Yeah.
And then the rain.
But I'm definitely going to challenge myself by doing a little bit more texture and especially lace knitting as well. I'm really enjoying the lace knitting because it's such a small area that you have to do it on. You can really explore different patterns, and you can actually, you don't have to have a set pattern. You can use a pattern guide or a pattern or a stitch dictionary. And if you can divide it in 4, because most of this sock knitting, it's the sizes, the stitches is dividable by 4. So you can really create really nice patterns for yourself. And it can only be like on the cuff, doesn't have to be the whole sock, just for that extra detail. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
This was very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me see, how do I get us all back? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording, and for the participants, I say thank you very much. Don't run away, participants. We're going to chat further. I just want to see, where's the buttons?